Well, welcome, and thank you for taking part in our Bible study. We'll be looking at the main idea of making His story your story. In fact, we'll be looking at 4 basic keys to finding how Christ impacts your life. My name is Dennis Schaefer, and I'm the pastor at Open Door Baptist Church, and I want to personally thank you for taking a part in these studies. Certainly, it is our desire that you are going to be encouraged and helped as you explore some of these age-old questions that you may have. Certainly, these questions, contemporary to ourselves, have been asked many years ago as well, and they play an important part in understanding who we are, why we are important, and what our purpose in this universe is. For the first time ever, when you walked into a history class or a social studies class, you understood and realized that you are just but a small blip on the timeline. Each of our lives are just a small dash representing our birth and our death. And our little dash coincides with the timeline of so many others, billions of other people, in fact, at the same time. Time is no respecter of persons and continues to march on. Birth and death, good and bad, health and disease, blessing and cursing seem to touch each and every human soul, from the first person to the last. Events, attempts, successes, failures, tribes, kingdoms, inventions and wars, and many other things correspond to each rise and fall of the sun, which we measure as days and times. If we are not careful, we may believe that our time on this earth is insignificant and has little or no purpose at all, especially when contrasted with the few people that our history teacher required for us to memorize along with the respective dates so that we were able to fill in the answers on the next unit test. The significance of our time is shown on most timelines, especially in our Western civilization, as an event that occurred somewhere about 2,000 years ago. In some textbooks, it may seemingly go unnoticed, except when we are asked to calculate the years between events. As an example, let me encourage you to take a moment and try to calculate how many years ago it was that Augustus Caesar founded the Roman Empire, which was about 27 BC. Next, let me encourage you to do the same thing, except looking back at Artaxerxes, King Artaxerxes I, who ruled in Persia from 464 to 424 BC. Still further back in time, figure out how long it has been since the Great Pyramid of Khufu, or Cheops, was completed in Egypt, about 2560 BC. There is something on the timeline that is of such great significance that it causes us to do the mental, mathematical gymnastics of flipping from positive numbers to negative numbers. What one event could be so big and so powerful that our entire calendar has been influenced by it? By the way, what kind of event would be so big that even modern secular scholarship attempts to minimize, discredit, and even hide this event from today's academics when it is a proven historical event? This event that holds such significant controversy for some and adds to the difficulties of calculating between events of time is the same event that we believe brings significance to life in the past, the present, and the future. That event is the life of Jesus Christ. Many in the world have attempted to make a name for themselves. But when Jesus walked onto the stage of history, His story interjected time with something much more significant than mankind's selfish pursuits. His life's pursuit was something that was selfless. To take this a step further, life is about more than even the story of us as a people. During our study together, we are going to run through history with Jesus in mind. We will attempt to unlock Jesus' significance and how He contributes to your significance in the grand scheme of all that has occurred in history. Understand, you may think that your life is trivial, random, and even full of chance events. But we hope that you will see His story, Christ's story, though seemingly long ago, that it may become your story and your history too. Thank you for participating.